Morning after your mother's funeral, nothing tastes as good as hot pancakes made by someone you love. Not the cardboard box kind, though. You've got to use my special recipe pancakes. I'll write it out on the back since it's all in my head. Oh, don't forget, May likes hers with a chocolate chip smiley face. She won't eat them without it. Here's a crazy idea. Maybe you could try one for once. Kiss the kids. I love you and miss you. Love, Natalie. Luke flipped the page over, hoping to find another message from Natalie, but instead there was a recipe. It looked pretty simple. For the past few weeks, someone had been here to make meals for the kids, or folks had dropped prepared dishes off in Tupperware containers. Luke could barely eat them, though. Even during those last 3 months, when they knew the end was coming fast, Luke leaned heavily on boxed cereal, mac and cheese, and plenty of bananas and carrot sticks to let Natalie know he was attempting to be healthy. Now the pressure of making sure the kids were fed 3 at least semi-healthy meals a day was all on him. "Daddy, I need milk!" Clayton shouted from his bedroom, and it echoed through the 2-story entry. So much for politeness. A door opened in the upstairs hall. "Dad, Clayton is yelling. I was trying to sleep." Will's voice dragged, and Luke wondered how late his 14-year-old had been up last night. "I'm grabbing him a drink, then I'll make breakfast. Pancakes sound good?" Luke folded the letter as he spoke, put it back in the envelope, and added to the other one still in his pocket. Will leaned over the railing, his bedhead hair sticking up in almost stylish brown spikes. He looked like his mother, even had her little lisp that came out when he was tired or distracted. When Will was little, Luke was always a little jealous his son didn't look more like him. But now he was glad. He wished all the kids took after Natalie because seeing those little parts of her live on in them made Luke miss her a fraction less. "Dad," Will hesitated, "you don't make pancakes?" "Well, I'm going to try." Luke walked up the stairs to his son and placed a hand on his shoulder. "I'm an engineer. If I can design cell phones the size of a credit card, I can certainly follow a simple recipe." It was almost noon by the time Luke found all the ingredients on Natalie's list. Will gave up on the hopes of pancakes at about 11:30 and ate a bowl of Cheerios before disappearing back into his room. But May was loyal. Once she heard sounds in the kitchen, she vowed to not take a bite of any food until a pancake stared up at her. Luke was touched by her devotion, but also a little concerned the poor child would starve to death before an edible pancake landed on her plate. He frowned at the lumpy mix of milk, white vinegar, melted butter, and eggs. According to Natalie's directions, he was supposed to pour it into the dry ingredients and stir till still slightly lumpy. He sniffed the mixture. It smelled like Windex and eggs. No way he was doing this right. He was about to dump the semi-congealed off-white muck into the flour when the door to the garage opened and closed with a slam. "Hello, Richardson family. Anyone here?" Annie called. "I waited as long as I could." For the past 3 months, Annie came by every morning at 8:30 a.m. For a while, she pretended she'd happened to be in the middle of a run and thought to stop by. When the heavy snows came on in the first week in December, she started showing up in her minivan. Natalie and Luke pretended not to notice. When Natalie couldn't get out of bed anymore to answer the door, they gave Annie the garage code. Apparently, her morning visits hadn't expired with Natalie. She came around the corner in an ankle-length winter coat with snow on her shoulders. "Oh my gosh, it's cold out there." Great. A real person. Luke made sure his robe was tied tight enough to hide his hole-in-the-butt sweatpants that horrified Natalie's mom so much. Will and May weren't in much better shape. Luke wished he'd at least gotten them dressed and had them run combs through their hair. Instead, Clayton lay half asleep in a sugar comb on the couch from all the stay quiet lollipops. Rainbow-colored drips decorated the collar of his airplane PJs. "Annie!" May jumped up from her spot in front of the TV and sprinted toward Annie, nearly running into the half wall separating the kitchen from the family room. She was still wearing an off-white flannel nightgown, her hair frizzed around her head like a dandelion poof. The kids were a mess. Then again, if anyone could understand, it would be Annie. "Hey, girl." Annie let out a big